I put to the Minister of Defence of Pakistan, Khwaja Asif. He conceded Pakistan had funded terror organisations in the past, but said that was a mistake.
Terrorism in all its forms is something which should be condemned as strongly as possible. This is something Pakistan has been victim of terrorism for decades, and perhaps no other country in the world has suffered so much from terrorism as Pakistan because of the wars in Afghanistan. People who are being accused are not known, never heard of the organization.
You're talking about an offshoot of Lashkar-e-Taiba, the resistance.
Lashkar-e-Taiba, let me tell you, Lashkar-e-Taiba is a name from the past. It is totally defunct. It does not exist.
Pakistan is also known to back, harbour, train and fund these terrorist organisations, namely the Taliban for years and groups like Lashkar-e-Taiba. So this is one of the reasons why the Trump administration in 2018 prevented any military aid from reaching Pakistan, because they said that Pakistan was continuing to play a double game. So this is
way back in the 80s against Soviet Union. All these terrorists of today, they were whining and dining in Washington, and then came the 9/11 attacks. Again, the same situation was repeated. They were actually these Talibans, or before that, the people who were who visited Washington, and they were treated like VIPs in those days.
That retaliation will be in the form of airstrikes, which could escalate.
This has happened before also, Pulwama, and it was confirmed by the Indian media, Indian sources that it was a false flag operation. This time again, they are repeating the same thing. An incident took place in occupied Kashmir, and they are blaming us for that. And our media has never heard the organization they are mentioning behind this attack in Kashmir day before yesterday.
Are you worried?
No, we are not worried. If India attacks us, we'll retaliate in kind. There's absolutely no doubt in our minds.
Just to be clear, sir, when you say false flag, when you say staged, are you blaming India for this attack that took place in Kashmir?
Are you aware of Modi's history, what he did in Gujarat when he was Chief Minister of Gujarat?
Its intelligence agencies fund and back these terrorist organizations. That's why they're blaming you. You are now saying that this was staged by India based on what evidence?
Any evidence for these incidents in Kashmir? Any evidence? 10, 15 years, 3-4 incidents have taken place, but they never came up with any evidence.
Evidence do you now have that India staged this?
Lashkar-e-Taiba does not exist in Pakistan anymore. How can
this is an offshoot known, and they have claimed responsibility, the resistance front.
But my dear, if the parent organization does not exist, how can the offshoot take birth?
Well, that's what you say. That's what you say. The Indians, their intelligence agencies, the United States is often
our intelligence agencies, they say otherwise. They say it's all staged.
You do admit, sir, that Pakistan has had a long history of backing and supporting and training and funding these terrorist organizations.
Well, we have been doing this dirty work for the United States for about 3 decades, and West, including Britain.
That
that was a mistake, and we suffered for that.
Do you believe this situation is going to escalate and that India will launch airstrikes? Is Pakistan preparing itself for that?
We are already prepared for it. We are already prepared for it. Any eventuality which takes place in next 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 days or week or 10 days, we'll retaliate and we'll react to that. In kind. Inshallah.
How will you respond if India does launch a series of airstrikes?
We will measure our response to whatever is initiated by India according to that. It would be a measured response. If there is an all-out, attack or something like that, then obviously there will be an all-out war. And if it is something...
And that's what I wanted to get to. We're talking about 2 nuclear powers. Should the world be worried about this moment?
Yes, I think so. The clash between two nuclear powers is always worrisome. Since the takeover by BJP, the power in Delhi, these things are taking place with quite frequency.
What message do you have to Delhi?
If I have to give them a message, is that we are neighbors. We have problems. We have some very serious problems with each other, especially over Kashmir. But we should be solving our problems through negotiations. We have had negotiations in the past, but no, we don't have those negotiations mechanism anymore between our two countries. It is underwritten by the World Bank, this treaty. They cannot abandon this treaty just like that. This is a serious blow to the relationship between the two countries. I think India should not be resorting to such measures. This will escalate the situation.
And what message do you have to Donald Trump? Does he have a role to play in this and the United States?
Definitely, he leads the world power, the sole world power, talking to different parties in different flashpoints all over the world. Otherwise, if there is an initiative by India, we'll respond in kind. We will not have any option. Have absolutely no option.